Good evening, everyone. It's once again a privilege for all of us to come together and seeing how we can build wealth. Uh, and we're using these foundations of financial well-being as an opportunity to come together and see what we can do. And so this is bonus session. Having done the 6 sessions, looked at mindset, and we looked at how we can get a grip with our numbers, budgeting and looking at expenses and reining in debt and building emergency funds, um, contingency funds, and having a budget in place. We then looked at how we can start building assets using all the various asset classes and how we can protect ourselves against life's uncertainties. And so we looked at pensions and how to secure a legacy for the future. Those were the primary 6 sessions that we covered. And so tonight we are moving into the bonus session 2. The first bonus session, we looked at how families can work together to build wealth. And we looked at various strategies that families use to, manage their finances, and looked at the pros and cons of each of those as to how they can be effectual in helping you to build a strong financial base. Tonight is one of those, I think, is probably something you can take away and put in your bag and start benefiting immediately, because there's a lot of money out there that we are not claiming. There is a lot of money that we're spending unnecessarily when we could be keeping it more and channeling it towards building wealth for ourselves. There's a lot of money that is left unclaimed because, again, the focus of the government is not to alert you of what you are um, entitled to, or any of these organizations. They don't want you to know. So it's up to you to find out. And as a result, there's a lot of money that we could be saving through getting some of this money back, but we are not, because we are not aware. And therefore, all of these monies, whether you're keeping more or you're claiming more, it can all be channeled towards using every pound to build a good financial base. So look at some of the statistics that we have. Um, and it says the thousands most UK households live on the table, and how to claim it. So starting with probably the tax that money that none of us are claiming, or maybe are not aware of it. The first one is basically telling you that loyalty does not pay in terms of dealing with financial institutions, or even those who give you a service. So here we see that if you keep your mortgage and you don't move mortgage provider, I'm in the process of doing that right now. And my broker is telling me actually there are better rates for new clients than existing clients who remain loyal. So there are two products. I could go for an extension with the current provider, and it's going to cost me a lot more than actually closing that account and opening a new account. And I'm talking about thousands being saved a year. There are some workplace perks that we will look into, where you could be saving hundreds of pounds. There are some cashback opportunities that we are not taking advantage of. Switching bills instead of staying with British Gas or with whichever provider, again, it's the same story. They are exploiting incumbency, or they know that we've got a lot of inertia. And so clients that do not move and switch are really, they are paying, they are the backbone of these companies and finance, because they know we are lazy. Travel, there are some hacks as well. We can look into the hacks around, the HMRC, some reliefs that we could be getting, council tax benefit, family allowances, tax-free allowances, holiday, insurance, and debt and credit moves. So these levers are known to most of us. And they were not known, some of them were not known to me until I started doing this research. And we're going to group them into 7 sections as we go through this evening's presentation. So let's start by employee perks and salary sacrifice benefits. This benefit sits in your contract that you have with your employer, and you may have never claimed some of the benefits that are available within your contract. For example, let's start with a pension. Some organizations, the standard is around about 6%. So if you contribute into your pension, your employer will match it up to 6%, in some cases 9%. I know organizations that will match it up to 6 or 9%. And then, of course, what happens is that your pension contribution is taken before tax. So that's another benefit that is added. So £100 put into a pension pot becomes 125 because the government hasn't taken tax out of it as it goes into investment. So when you add what the government puts in and what your employer puts in, there is no investment that can beat that particular combination if you just went on your own without leveraging these opportunities. So it cuts taxable pay, so you save income tax and national insurance contributions. The employer may add their NI savings too. The single biggest workplace lever for higher earners. So if you're here earning more than 40, I think it's 45, 46,000 a year, there is a lot of money where you can save up to 32%. Instead of losing all of that money. That money could be diverted towards building a secure financial future for your family. And then, of course, you got perks like bikes, cycle to work, up to 3,000 from gross pay, no national insurance, no income tax on the rental cost, especially strong for high rate earners. Again, most of these, they started ages ago. I had this when I was still working, more than 15 years ago. Electric vehicle, and this is a big one. Instead of buying your own vehicle, you could lease an electric vehicle from your employer, and the tax that you would pay as an employee benefit is significant, almost zero. It was zero. I don't know whether they've changed it recently. Effectively costs roughly half the on-the-road price of many earners. So again, if you are entitled to a car, company car, and you go for an electric vehicle, you'll be saving yourself a lot of money. And then you got employer rewards portals. So this is where your employer, like Barclays, for example, that's the one I've got access to, employee perks. You purchase any and everything through this portal. You identify the item you want to purchase, and you go to the service provider through the employer rewards portal, and that then gives you discounts or reward points against every purchase. And then that purchase, those rewards can be used to secure more items and more goods. For example, you can get a card for your shopping at Sainsbury's, and that will entitle you to 10% discount if you're buying it via employer rewards. And then when you go to Sainsbury's, you layer that on top of the employer, sorry, supermarket um, uh, what to call it, the word I'm looking for, loyalty cards. So you're having one reward on top of another, and you are layering all of these benefits. And you could save yourself a lot of money if you think how much you buy from Sainsbury's in a year and how much shopping you get um, uh, every day via the internet or Tesco's or Asda or any of these supermarkets or Morrison's, you add that and you subtract 10% per annum. How much money would that add up to? And then you can channel that money towards your investment and saving. So those are sort of the employer perks that you need to go and look at your contract, ring HR and find out what you are entitled to. Most of this is communicated on a regular basis, but we don't take it into account or we just ignore it. But thereby we let go of hundreds of pounds that we could be saving. The next section covers the family and well-being perks. So each family is entitled to up to 2,000 per child per year. The government tops up 20% of childcare costs. The salary sacrifice for school-age care can stack savings further. So if you got a child who is still of that age where they are entitled to by the criteria, you could be saving up to £2,000 per year per child. Are you claiming that benefit? Are you claiming that benefit from your employer? Workplace health cash plans reclaim up to 2 to 600 per year. Subsidized dental, optical, and physio pays back in full for most users. Check before booking private appointments. So all of these are workplace health benefits that could save you a lot of money, your gym costs or any of those things. Investigate what your employer can offer. Again, season tickets, you can get an interest-free loan from your employer to buy your season ticket at the beginning of the year. And instead of using your credit card to buy and then you're charged credit card expenses, this is interest-free from your employer, repaid via payroll. You're not paying a single penny more than what the season ticket costs. So it saves over for financing a monthly pass on a credit card. So stop bleeding money. Use the free loan, free interest loan that is available from your employer, and you will save yourself that 5 to 8% credit cost. And then you got some employee assistance programs, confidential helpline for mental health and well-being, legal questions, debt advice sometimes. Most employers offer it, but few staff use it because they think there is a lack of confidentiality. But generally speaking, employers use a private organization that is not linked to your employer. So there's likely to be no breach between the service provider and the employer. So the action is log into your benefits portal this week and audit what you are not using and see how you can start leveraging that to build a financial legacy for yourself and your family. Uh, so there are employee perks. So what you can do is just really take about 5 minutes, email HR for your benefit lists. And most people don't know what their employer already pays for. So one 5-minute email is all you need to unlock and have the awareness of what it is you are entitled to. So that's an action point to take away from your employee benefits that could save you and put thousands of pounds back into your pocket. How about discount cards and cashback? Free money sits in cards and apps you already use if you actually use them. So let's look at that as a second segment. For those who are in NHS, who work for emergency services like ambulances and fire services, armed forces, social care, um, you know, you can get a blue light card, which entitles to you to discounts in over 15,000 retailer shops, and you just pay £5, less than £5 per year for membership. And then you can claim all these savings wherever you shop because of the area of service you are providing. Costco membership cards, again, if you're able to buy in bulk, anyone who buys in bulk. And Costco at the moment, with the current crisis we're going through, is a real good tip for petrol. If you got membership, petrol will cost up to, 5 to 8p or even more below the other four costs. And every 8p adds up depending on how many miles you do. That could be significant. I got this one actually today. I joined a particular service and they sent me a test card link for me to join this test card. Apparently, it gives you up to 50% off the mains at 6,000 plus restaurants. So if you're going out, if you got that card as part of the Gourmet Society, you can save money in so many restaurants when you go out for to eat. Defense Discount Service. This is for serving members, serving forces and veterans and families. Free high street and online retailer deals specifically for the armed services. So the test card pays for itself in 2 meals. So you go out twice and you've paid the membership card, and most people forget they own it and they pay without actually displaying it. So again, if you're somebody who likes to go out and goes out on a regular basis, that could save you several pounds. Cashback and loyalty cards. There are so many cashback sites now. Top Cashback, if you have not come across that one, you can log on to there and start playing around with it and see if it works for you. And then there's Quidco is another one. You just type that on Google, and typically you could save up to 400 per year for those who are actively using that site to purchase whatever they are purchasing. And then, of course, we're all familiar with supermarket loyalty cards and Nectar Club cards and Morrison More. I find sometimes they point you to things you don't want to buy, but nevertheless, um, there could be some savings there. You accumulate the points, and at some point, you might not even have money, and you just go on the back of your loyalty points and save yourself some money. Cashback credit cards, reliable payers who clear balances monthly. If you are not clearing your balance monthly, that's how they get you. But if you clear your balance monthly, you could be making money. Look at how many orders online you do, and for every pound, if you are getting, even if it's 1%, that money will accumulate and add. So the idea is here, if you don't have a credit card that has got cashback, you need to find one that has a cashback facility. And and use that instead of your mainland, your bank one. So there's about £500 or more a year reclaim for a household, stacking cashback plus loyalty together or stacking. So if you got a cashback, you go to Sainsbury's, you've already got your loyalty card, you're layering one claim on top of another, and it could add up to quite something significant. So your takeaway from tonight is again, take some time, either go and download an app or you bookmark a website, your cashback portal, pick top, I'm not recommending, I'm just saying check at the moment, the ones I found are top cashback or Quidco, pin it on your browser. Every future online purchase pays you back 1 to 10%. So you could be using that as an example. Now, insurance is the third section here that we want to cover. Now, the comparison sites are seeking to make money from you, but sometimes it really doesn't pay because um, you could get better deals when you go straight to the underwriter yourself, but it's worth checking. Um, so annual worldwide policy will cost you between 35 and 60 pounds. Um, um, compare to a single trip. Most of us buy insurance when we go on holiday. And then that becomes very expensive. Every trip you make, every holiday you take, you then buy an insurance policy to cover. And the airline or the ticket sales portals are very, very good at actually trapping you because you buy your ticket and then they throw in insurance and you think you've escaped and they pull you back again to insurance. They want to add another transaction to your airline ticket. But if you've got an annual travel insurance, it probably is going to be much cheaper than doing a single trip um, insurance cover. So with a 35 to 60, if you do more than two trips, you've already broken even. And you buy direct from the insurer. Comparison sites strip out cover features to win the prize. So sometimes what you end up getting by comparison sites is not what you could get because they will reduce the features of that insurance in order to make it cheaper for you. But you think you're getting a deal, whereas actually you could get more functionality or features when you are buying direct. So the key thing here is medical cover. Generally, you should be looking at more than 5 million cover. Cancellation, about 3,000 per person. You need to check those kind of things. Excess, £100 or lower. Declare pre-existing conditions because there's no point taking an insurance and you cover up whatever might be happening because when it comes to claiming, they're just going to catch you out and then you'll have paid premiums from which you're not going to benefit. Winter sports, if needed, might need to add on those kind of things. Direct via the insurance companies. I'm just putting here examples. I'm not recommending those particular providers. And then we move on to the packed bank accounts, bangle or don't bangle. So what's usually in the inbox? Sometimes I've got a black account with one of the banks, for example, that provides just by the account itself, which is a paid for account. I get my travel insurance within the account. I get my recovery insurance within the account. So sometimes we forget and we don't even know what we're covered for by our accounts. And then we go and buy the insurance and buy road recovery services for which we already have an insurance policy. I'm covered for all my mobile devices and my laptop within my account. So I don't need a laptop insurance or mobile phone insurance because that's provided for within my account, bank account. So don't double pay for what you already have. Read the small print and find out what you are already covered for. Um, so if you buy, for example, two of those covers separately, the bank will win all the time. One family worldwide travel policy alone is often between 80 and 150. The rest is effectively free. So it's always important to bundle things. Check what you already have. Avoid duplicate cover, which is I was saying. Before buying a gadget, a phone, breakdown, or travel cover, check existing policies. Home contents often includes accidental damage and away from home cover for gadgets. Many credit cards include travel and medical. So check your accounts. The catch is always read the excess. How much do you need to pay before you start benefiting from the claim? Watch age and condition limits. For example, travel cover often caps at age 70 to 80 or exclude pre-existing conditions for which you have to pay extra. Phone cover has steep excess. You have to pay between 75 and £100. If anyone in your household won't qualify, the bank may not replace standalone. So these are some of the things that you need to look at. The rule of thumb is a packaged account pays for itself if you genuinely use it at least two of the four covers. Otherwise, you are paying for shelf space. Make every holiday pound go further. How do you do that? When you spend abroad, spend like a local. Um, So there are some bank accounts that will enable you to use the interbank exchange rate, not what you get from the exchange bureau. They will charge you a lot more. Whereas if you're using Wise, for example, they will use the interbank for an exchange. And then you can preload your cash and you tap to pay everywhere and always pay in local currency to avoid dynamic currency conversions. So all of that will help you to save some money. Um, so the next one is airline add-on inflation. So things like seat selection. I mean, I don't know about you, but seat selection and bags cost more at the booking page than added later. So skip premium seats on short hauls, weigh bags before the gate to avoid the 65 airport excess fees. And, some people will pay extra to be the ones to go onto the plane first. I think that's money that you could be putting towards your saving. There's no need for you. The plane is not going to leave without you. And so getting onto the plane first really is just playing to our egos and the priority boarding. I'm going to find you still seated and the plane is going to take off when we are all on board. And I could save that money towards something more useful. That's me, but others you may think that's money worth spending. I'm saying that's money which you could keep and redirect to your savings. Uh, Refunds most travelers miss. Yeah, the delays, UK 261 is the law or the policy pays 220 for short hold when a flight is delayed for 3 hours or more, up to 520 for for long hauls for delays of 4 hours and more per passenger. And you need to claim direct, not via the 25% free agency. They're just draining money that you could be using for yourself. There's no need to go via third parties. Go through that yourself. And then, of course, there's Section 75 cover if you've booked via cards. You can claim through your bank for the service that was not delivered according to what was promised. And then the bank will pay you and then fight with the provider on your behalf. Status and loyalty matching, free upgrades and extras. So things like hotels, Marriott, Hilton, will match status from a rival program on request. So we need to learn to haggle. Instant access to free breakfast, late checkout, and room upgrades without a single qualifying stay. So learn to ask. So what you need to do is two cards and a 10-minute claim window can be worth more than your weekly shop. The savings are in the admin block of these sites. How about UK travel? Now, I don't know how many of us still use, the trains. And there's this little smart tools, for example, split ticketing, where you can save 30 to 40% off long journeys. So if you're traveling from here, London, to, let's say, Manchester, a good split would be from here to Crewe, and that will cost you something like £35. Manchester is around £80. From Crewe to Manchester is then another £17 or so. So a ticket that will cost you £80, booked direct as a single ticket, can work out to about £47 using a split ticket mechanism. So there are some tools, some online apps that will allow you to do that and find the best ticket for you. As long as the ticket is more than £25, they'll find a way of saving you money. So never pay for the full ticket. There's no point going to the station because they can't do it from the train station unless you get somebody who's really good. And most of the time, you just face a machine that is not calibrated to make these discount offers for you. So you use the apps. They only take a commission off what they save you. So split finders, TransSplit or Train Split, Split My Fare, and Railboard scan thousands of split combinations in second. They charge a small commission only on what you save. No save, no fee. Okay? Free £5 app codes, often a free ticket. Trainline, whatever, it used to be GNER, it's now LNER. That's the one from King's Cross. Avanti, Northern, all release promo codes. So check if you can get those discounts. Never just pay straight away. Advance rail booking, again, if you book in advance, you could make some significant savings. The earlier you book, the cheaper the discount, and the closer you book your ticket, because they know you haven't got an option, you're a motivated traveler, they're going to charge you for it. At airports, sometimes, airports are increasingly having less and less seating space. Credit card perks, these perks, cards will allow you to have priority pass or access to lounges. My credit card allows me access to lounges as I travel. Again, that's part of the feature of the service that is provided. Package bank account, already paying for it through the bank. Flight delay, auto pass. Several airlines auto issue lounge access for 2+ hours delays. So BA at London Heathrow and London Gatwick, Virgin for some long haul flights. Some travel insurances include this too. Just claim it at the gate when you go there and you want to be comfortable. Because guess what that will do? It will save you the food that you have to buy outside in all of those restaurants. Because when you get into the airport lounge, the food is part of the cost of your lounge access. You don't have to spend that money buying that food. Pre-book discount, lounge pass, holiday extras, and number one lounges sell pre-booked passes from £15. So if you got you're gonna travel, look at my money saving expert. They will often give you some codes that you can claim to get some discounts. So the takeaway here and the action for all of us is to check what you already have and are covered for. Open your home insurance, packaged account packs, and credit card terms. Most people pay twice or three times for cover they already have. Don't duplicate. Tax reliefs and claims from HMRC. Now, the green lettering there is speaking for itself. HMRC is not going to chase you, but they will refund you if you ask. They won't write to you and tell you what you haven't claimed. You have to be on the know yourself and chase them. So the first one is that if you got a homemaker, a spouse who is a homemaker and is a non-taxpayer, they can transfer up to 1,260 of their personal allowance to a basic rate paying spouse. Apply once and the HMRC keeps it rolling. And you can go back up to 4 years of claims. If your spouse was not working, you're entitled to £252 per year, and you can claim back up to 4 years. Now, when you get that 4-year amount of 1,260, you can use it to start your ISA or put it into your pension or whatever it is that you're working towards. Since COVID, there was an introduction of working from home, but that existed before because I ran my business from home. I have been claiming on my tax return the use of my office in my home and the use of the energy in my home for the benefits of my company. So if your employer requires home working, that it's got to be in your contract. If they require home working, claim tax relief on £6 per week, and the form to use is PH7. Eligibility has now been tightened since the pandemic because I guess they've been swamped with so many claims. And so you need to check the criteria. But most importantly, the key is it's required in your contract that you work from home and you could be entitled to £6 a week. That comes back into your pocket. Uniform and professional fees. So some of you are, if you are a nurse, RCN, and if you are a doctor, BMA, if you're an accountant, ACCA and ICCA, whatever accrediting body you belong to, professional body, you are entitled to claim all the payments you make towards your association. For the teachers, if you belong to the teachers union, all those unions you can claim. But more than that, you are as nurses, you can claim for uniform. If you're a PE teacher, you can claim for PE kit that you use for doing your work. All of that can be claimed from the inland revenue on an annual basis, and that could be saving you up to 140 or more. I know the membership fees are quite high. You can be claiming back. And if you're made redundant or you lose your job mid year, the tax is calculated on the assumption that you're going to work from April to April. And so if your contract is terminated for one reason or another mid-year, it means that you have paid more tax than you should have. So by using Form P50 or Form P85 if you are leaving the UK, if you are in the UK, you use P50, you complete that form and you send it online, and HMRC will calculate how much they need to refund you, and that money will hit your bank account. So all four claims on .gov.uk, avoid third party. No need to go via all these sites. Some people have set up businesses to help people who are not willing to apply effort to make these claims. They are not complicated. Agents they will take up to 30 to 48% of your refund. And again, we are here to claim and to retain and keep towards building a financial future, not to line up somebody else's pocket. Bigger claims worth knowing. Again, this might have been bypassed because we've passed COVID. Tax was deducted from 8% interest on PPI payouts. So if you were a non or a basic rate taxpayer, claim it back via form again R40. It's open for 4 tax years. PPI was the insurance or whatever scandal that happened a few years ago, where interest was deducted, so you can make claim. HMRC sends P800 letters when pay goes wrong. Job changes, multiple roles, pension starts. Check your personal tax account for any amount that may be owed using this P800. Marriage bereavement refund. If a spouse dies, the surviving partner can claim marriage allowance for prior years if eligible. Backdate up to 4 tax years. That could again add up to 1,260. Personal savings allowance checks. Basic rate taxpayers get 1,000 tax-free interest. Higher rate 500. Banks no longer deduct tax, but HMRC may have estimated wrongly via your tax code. So again, it's money that you can claim back if they have overestimated the tax you were going to accrue from your savings. Our time is fast running. Pension carry forward. Unused pension allowances from the last 3 tax years can be used this year. Useful for bonuses. So if you get a bonus, you can plow that into a pension. Business sale years or catch up. You must be a member of a scheme in each year. Child benefit, reclaim or restart. So the allowance has been increased in 2024. Many higher tax earners who opted out should now reclaim. Always register even if you opt out. It protects your state pension and your NI credits. So these are just high-level flags, so you need to do a bit more homework, and you've got a very good checklist in terms of your workbook, which Ndumiso is going to upload now onto the chart, so you can start downloading it. You're entitled to 30 hours free childcare per week. So funded hours for working parents now apply from 9 months old. 9 months old. Both parents must earn an equivalent of 16 hours per week at minimum wage, under 100K each. Apply via childcare service. And again, I know people like their privacy, but if you're really serious about building capital, uh, you are allowed to use your room if you got a spare room in your house and you take in a lodger. You can earn up to 7,500 tax-free, which you could deploy towards your savings. And there are many schemes here where students from abroad are wanting to come and spending time with a family in the UK to learn English. It could even be more than the 7,000 because you could be asked to cook for them or provide a home environment. So that's slightly different from this, but yeah, you can earn up to 7,500 per year if you rent a room in your house. So here the action is to make sure you've got a personal tax account and you know what HMRC are doing so that you can claim, and it's all online, digital. Switching household bills, we've heard a lot about this. Loyalty is taxed. Whenever you're dealing with finances, remember loyalty is taxed. If you don't switch your gas supplier, if you don't switch water, we haven't got any choice, mainly. But if you don't switch your mobile phone provider, if you don't switch your insurance, your car insurance provider, they are going to cash in on you because they know we don't like, we've got a lot of inertia. We don't like to change. So they always offer better deals for new customers. So the biggest one is the mortgage. Now, this is your biggest loan you will ever take. And you can't afford just to be uh, inactive about it. You need to proactively manage. You can't just sit back and relax. Yeah, you need to proactively check, fix it for 2 years, 5 years, and then what the advice is 6 months before your fix comes to an end, start looking for better deals. Because again, if you leave yourself to the wire, you're going to end up getting a bill because now you're trying to avoid coming back to the standard variable rate. So start doing your work, put it in your diary, and then let the alert remind you to start looking for deals in plenty time. Energy, again, we've been around these houses and these circles about energy rates. Again, is try to fix the people who are paying the most are the ones on the standard deals. If you're not fixed and if you're just paying the standard, you're paying the most in terms of energy. And that's the same with the broadband. When my comes to my home service agreements, I always ring them and say, I can't afford that. And usually they will discount it to even less than what I paid the previous year. I've never been unable to get a discount on my home care agreements, for example. They will always negotiate and they will always discount something. Bank switch bonuses, again, sometimes when you switch banks, it comes with 100 and a 200 pound switch. Mobile phones, again, don't go on contracts. Buy your own device and go on a SIM-only phone because the contracts cost you a lot of money. I know some of you like to change your devices every year, but that's a lot of money to pay when you want to build a future financial wealth. So diarize the mortgage end date and each contract anniversary. Most savings comes from acting on time, not finding the perfect deal. Okay. Bills hiding in plain sight. Again, council tax bans, sometimes they are wrong. Martin Lewis has been talking about this. You can find out whether your council tax is your house is valued correctly. You could make a saving there. I've learned recently that the water bill that I pay is not based on how much I use, but on the number of bedrooms in your house. So the more bedrooms you have, the more you're going to pay for your water. And then so if there's two of you, you're paying more than you are using. So the advice is consider switching to a meter reading. You could save yourself a lot of money. TV license, if you're not using live TV or BBC iPlayer, you can stop it. But if they come and they find you're using TV terrestrial, then you're going to be in trouble. 50% off if registered blind. Again, you can save some money. Free if you are over 75 and on pension credit. So you can save some money there, £180 per year on those things. Breakdown insurance cover. We've already talked about most of these will be in your credit cards. Standalone breakdown cover via Start Rescue or RIC. One use beats premium AA bolt-ons. So check your insurance so that you're not paying double. So the action here is to have a spreadsheet with all the dates and so that you can flag or an app which will remind you of critical dates so you to check things so that you are not in a cul-de-sac where you have to make a decision quickly. For example, I've been caught out to find out that my car insurance has expired and I've been driving for a couple of weeks without insurance. And then it becomes an urgent thing for me to get an insurance almost on the day. Because once I know I don't have one, it is presumptuous for me to go out driving without one. So I end up not making the best choices or best deals. So you want to avoid that. So you need to have a calendar of events of when everything that needs to be renewed on an annual basis is extended, and you get those alerts. Single person discounts on council tax. If you're living on your own, you get 25% discount on the tax. Severe mental impairment, you get up to 100% discount. Student and apprentices, full discount. If you got students, if there are students living in the house, they get a full discount or 25% off. So if it's a house of all students, they don't pay any council tax at all. Council tax reductions of up to 100%. Low income or benefit receiving households can apply via their council. Schemes vary from area to area, but you can get up to 50 to 100% discounts from the council. Apply through your local councils or website. Backdating rules vary, but apply quickly once you know you are eligible. So what do we normally miss? Pension credit, state pension age, low income, pension credit top-ups, income, and unlocks up to free TV licenses and over 75, weather payments from the government. All of those warm home discounts are also coming. And Healthy Start school meals for children under fours, household support fund. These will all vary from council to council. I'm just really flagging, alerting you here There are some websites, there's an app for almost everything these days. So there's an app, a website called entitled2.co.uk. You go in there, you fill in the question and enter in your details, and it will tell you what you might be entitled to. And the other one is 10 to us for free anonymous benefits calculation, and it will take about 15 minutes. I checked these two this afternoon, and they told me unsaidly that I'm not entitled to anything. And so, but yeah, I've checked through these, and they will then tell you what you're entitled to according to your situation and your circumstances. And yeah, here just, have the market, state of mind or frame of mind where you haggle. Don't just switch, negotiate your broadband, your mobile, your insurance, your breakdown cover, and whatever tariffs you are dealing with. Huddle, and you'll find that you'll get some reductions. Um, So the advice here is 10 to us or entitled to check just before the end of this week. Fill in that form and see what you might be entitled to that you were not aware of. Entitled to check or 10 to us check, and it will give you a list of things that you might be entitled to. I think I will stop there for this evening. If you borrow cheaper, basically that's zero balance transfer cards. You save yourself some money. Zero purchase cards, which will allow you up to 24 months to pay at 0%. Go to credit unions. If you have to make an overdraft, overdrafts are very expensive, up to 40% interest. You might be better off getting a personal loan at a cheaper rate than an overdraft. And the best way, if you've got a mortgage, is to consolidate into a mortgage, because the mortgage is the cheapest form of a loan you will ever get. Yeah, I'll stop here, and you can find the rest of these hacks on the handout, which is a checklist that I've posted. I'll take maybe next 5 minutes for questions if there's any. But this really is an information download. The handout is full of all of this stuff. So you can take that handout and go through the checklist and tick the box which you feel applies to you, and then get to work and save the money, claim what you're entitled to, and channel it towards building your financial future for yourself and for your family. Thank you very much.